Welcome everyone to Radland. I'm here tonight in Pasadena, California, off the corner of Oxley and Fairview, a very popular filming location for Halloween franchise fans. Vanessa's with me tonight also. We're going to be checking out the Halloween 1978 house, which is right behind me, just across the street on the corner. We're going to go check that out, walk around this area. It's going to be very busy tomorrow. My guess is that tomorrow night, this is going to be a very busy area for the Halloween house. It is well, not All Hallows Eve. It is Halloween Eve tonight. Tomorrow is All Hallows Eve, which actually stands for the day before the dead rise, which is Day of the Dead. But we're going to take a look at the house, maybe see some other filming locations around the area, and then enjoy the history of Halloween 1978 here in Pasadena. So upon approaching the house, it looks like somebody taped some information behind the street sign here. You can see it says Halloween 1978, mostly filmed here in South Pasadena on October 24th, 1978. 45 years ago from this year, Halloween was first released, scaring people into the franchise that has come to dominate the horror genre, especially with the 13th release, Halloween Ends, have come out on October 14th, 2022. It also says much of the filming, given it needed a Midwest look, ended up being filmed within South Pasadena, which Michael's house is just around the corner. This is Lori's house. Looks like some more people are showing up. I'm pretty sure it's going to get busier later on tonight and maybe tomorrow as well. Also, someone else decided to show up. Is that Michael? Michael Myers is here for the video as well. Hey, Michael. Halloween 365 behind the mask. Of course, she brought the goods for our photos. And oh, that's cool. The Spirit Halloween knife. So you came. Oh, look at that. That's neat. You're all set for our photo shoot today. So right across the street from Lori's house is a little bench here, you can see, and it's a little nod. A lot of people miss this apparently, according to our friend Judy. You can see it is a little tribute to the producer of the Halloween franchise, Mustafa Akkad. There's a plaque here in loving memory, known to the world as the godfather of the Halloween film series. It also says your legacy lives on, filmed in South Pasadena 1978. So that's a nice little tribute to the producer here right across the street from Lori's house. So here we're coming up on Lori's house, and it was actually on the market not too long ago and did sell for 1.6 million. There was an open house and somebody purchased it. It is a beautiful home, not too bad for the price here in Pasadena, with a very historical home that was filmed in Halloween. Just the exterior, none of the interior was filmed in the movie. From my understanding, the previous owners were very welcoming to Halloween fans all around that came to visit, and hopefully the new owners are the same. Right now it doesn't look like anyone has moved in yet, but hopefully they're just as welcoming as the previous owners. So here's the opening scene to Lori's house. You can see the two trees are still here. They didn't cut them down, which is pretty neat. And then back there is the driveway, or the back door, where she comes out of. Let's try to follow this in real time. There's the driveway. There's the back door there. This is where she walks around, actually in this area, and then makes her way around the corner.
Don't forget to drop the key off at the Myers place.
Right there.
They're coming by to look at the house at 10:30.
Right over there. She walks down this way and walks around the front of the house. A little later on in the movie, she arrives home and then she almost goes inside, but she hears something. So she comes around this area just right underneath all this little rubbish tree and these stairs. This is where she walks right through there. This is that area. She comes out of here. And then she sees all these kids trick-or-treating, and that's going to be right over there. You can see them trick-or-treating there, right outside of the little grass. And then she goes back up the stairs into the house. Like I said, none of the interiors were filmed, just the outside, up those stairs. And of course, the most iconic part of the house that takes place in the film is when Lori takes out her pumpkin and sits on the little stoop, that very stoop right there where that pumpkin is, and sits down and just overlooks the street with trick-or-treaters. It's a very iconic photo op that a lot of people do here in front of Lori's house, and definitely made this house very popular here in Pasadena. I would say it's a rite of passage if you're already here at the Lori house. They've added a pumpkin already in the stoop. It's like they're inviting you to take a photo. Here's the previous owners used to leave either a pumpkin on the porch or here right on the stoop where you can take your photo. And since it did sell, there is actually nobody living in the house right now. I believe they're probably in the middle of transitioning into moving in, but they did leave a pumpkin here for a photo op, and there has been a few people coming since it is Halloween Eve, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people tomorrow getting their photo here in front of the Lori house. So we're making our way a few blocks down to the Michael Myers house across the train tracks, and you said it was owned by a law firm, right?
Yeah, it's leased to a law firm.
But usually on like regular business hours, they would be kind of upset.
You don't want to come during business hours because they will kick you out and call the cops.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, well, just be careful when you're visiting filming locations. That sometimes happens. All right, so here we are. We made our way to Michael's house. Now, this is not the original location it was located at. It was actually up the street. They actually picked up the house and moved it elsewhere. This is it in the film. You can see it is a little different color, but that is the actual structure. The same house, just moved up the street, or I should say down the street. You can see it's got the 2 windows, the pillars. Very historical house, seen in Halloween 1978. Michael's house. Pretty awesome that they didn't tear it down, just moved it up the street. They figured it was going to be a historical building, and it still is till this day. A lot of people visiting. But like Judy said earlier, I'm 99% sure there's no one staying here. They do have a security camera above the door, so you don't want to step on their property. It is private property, but it is pretty neat that you can walk up here, get some photos, and that it's still here in Pasadena. Pretty awesome that they didn't tear it down. Now it is owned by, I think, a law firm, like Judy said. So here we made our way just a couple of blocks away, walking distance from Michael's house, is this alleyway, which was used in Halloween 2 in the very beginning scenes. I pulled it up on my phone. You could see Michael is coming out of this little shed area here, which is right behind me. You can see he's looking down this alleyway. The dog starts to bark at him, which is right across this way. And then you can see here, let me rewind it there. You'll see there's the telephone pole and that building right behind it, right after the dog barks. You can see, and you'll notice that building and telephone pole right there. This is this building here, kind of lined it up. There is that window and that telephone pole. So this is this exact spot right here. And then he makes his way down this alleyway where he continues onto this double door garage, which is just straight ahead right here. And that's where the police officer and the doctor pull up at the very end, and you can hear him. He kind of pulls off to the side here.
I shot him in the heart. I can't have gotten very far. Come on.
And that would be over there.
Times. This guy, this man, he's not human.
Then he takes off, and he kind of makes his way around this shed here, onto the back, and then into like another portion of the next door neighbor's house. He walks around. Now there's a wall here. I can't see if this house is still there. It might have been remodeled, but this is where he goes up to the window. I don't want to make too much noise. This is a private property. And he walks, looks like back there, that house there. He makes his way in there and starts to do his killings. I would say it's probably that house right there if I had to take a guess. They might have remodeled it, but he also goes inside the house, does his bidding, and then makes his way to the front, which we'll take a look at that in a bit. Kind of makes his way to the side of the house, goes inside. Here I came to the end of the alley, and you can see the lamppost is no longer there, sadly. There's a lot of these lampposts all around the area, but there's no lamppost here. You can find a few of them around this area, but this one has been taken down. It's just very cool to know that this was filmed here, and just to walk through this alley. It's just a lot of history in this area as far as Halloween goes. Not just Halloween 1978, but Halloween 2 behind this double garage door. This is pretty cool that it's still here. Glad they didn't make it into one garage. I'm curious as to how many people pass by here and actually know about this area. Now, I'm sure a lot of the diehards know about this location, but there's probably thousands and thousands of people that pass by here every day and don't know that this was filmed or used in Halloween 2. Alright, so this is the scene where Michael goes around to the front of the houses, and I've confirmed that these are not the houses in the film. These roof lines go sideways, and this roof line on this house goes the opposite way. You can see here as I rewind it, as he walks around, this roof line goes from the front to back, or I should say down from the back of the yard to the front of the yard, and these go from one side to the other, and it's like that the entire street. So that was my confirmation that that's not where this was filmed, because you can see other structures, maybe they'll change, such as like fireplaces and maybe even patios, But as far as the roof, I don't see that changing. But at a quick glance, it does look like it was filmed here, just because these houses do have that big space on the side where it looks like Michael's coming out of. It also has that little back house area, but the roof lines and the patios don't match up. Those are things I don't think were remodeled or re-added. But if you guys know where that filming location is, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhere in this area in South Pasadena, since that was where a big chunk of the movie was filmed. So just a couple of miles down from Lori's house and Michael's house is a very iconic hedge. And oh look, there's Michael. It's just his head though. And he got Judy right behind the camera. So tell us about the hedge, Judy. She's the expert.
Okay, so if you wanna just aim it on this side. Okay, so I think it's the house that's with the light on.
Okay.
So all the girls, Linda, Annie, and Lori Strode are walking home from school. So we have an angle where they show Linda walking into her house, which I believe is either this one or the one with the light on.
With the light on.
So
one
then,
of those two.
Yeah, so then Annie and Linda are walking this way, right?
Yeah, towards the hedge.
And she swears she sees Michael standing here. So she kind of spins around.
Which in the movie he comes out a little bit, like a
He does. He does like a full body shot, standing like right here, kind of like this. Okay.
Yeah, it's like for a second.
Like that. So then she gets distracted. So then she tells Annie there was a man standing there. So then she goes and Annie goes, Lori, he wants to talk to you. He wants to ask you on a date or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So then Lori goes, okay, like puzzled, and she goes
around
like this, and nobody's there, right?
Yeah.
So then Annie, and this is her house, so you see Annie walking to her house, but then Lori is still kind of puzzled, like what did I see? So then she's kind of just staring, like, and then she turns right here, and then Officer Brackett hits her and bumps into her and says, ah! And then Officer Brackett goes, what's wrong, Lori? Everybody's entitled to a
one good scare. Yeah.
And then that was it. And then she continues to walk this way.
So this house was in the film too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They show Annie walking through like the lawn up into the front door. So this is Annie's house. And then she just continues to walk by herself. Lori Strode.
Yeah, so this is a very popular hedge. Thanks for all the details. She was the one giving us our tour, and she knows everything about Michael. So hopefully one day she'll give us a full tour on her page. Go follow her, Halloween 365 days. She's the Halloween queen. Thanks for our tour, Judy. Well, that's a wrap for tonight's video here from Pasadena, California, on just some of the filming locations for the Halloween franchise. Now, there may be a few that I might have missed. I'll have to return and maybe do a more thorough video later on, but technically it is after 12 midnight, so it is now Halloween time. Hopefully everybody has a safe and happy Halloween. And a big thank you to all my subscribers and viewers for tuning in. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Even though haunt season is over, I have a lot of videos coming your way. But again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.